Hello and welcome back to Trash It. It's a beautiful panel today. I've got
Yes.
Celia as per usual in all
Hello.
glory, and I've got a special guest. Celia and I were thinking about how to pull this with all this sit at home, work from home, and we had to get someone that is knowledgeable. So I'm gonna read a bit about him before I introduce him. I'm sure he's already thinking, what's Yori gonna
She
say
going to
about me?
say.
Well, the person I'm bringing on is in the name of Adedoyin Adeola. Is a well-accomplished management expert with extensive technological operations. I'm reading this so I don't miss you out. Corporate development and leadership experience in telecommunications.
Okay.
So, guys, if you don't know what we're going to be talking about, once I've mentioned telecommunication, you should know this is all 5G in all its rays and beautiful.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go to Doreen just to say, hello, Doreen. Welcome to Trash It.
Hello.
Hello, good afternoon, ladies, and to our viewer, good afternoon, everybody. It's quite privilege to be part of this program, and I hope I'll be able to contribute my little knowledge in this subject to everybody to see, so that I'll be able to speak with facts and data in order to get the right fact to people so that we can educate people accordingly. Thank you.
That's beautiful. Now, Dori, I'm going to go straight to you. What is 5G? Because, in the last 2-3 months, this is what we've been talking about. Initially, for a novice like myself, I'm not that into, all I want is just to power my phone, my Wi-Fi works, I can connect to Celia, I can watch Instagram, I can do the show. That's all I care about. But now with this 5G, it's as if we just want to download films in 2 seconds. So am I wrong? What is 5G?
Oh, thank you very much. That's a very trending topics all over the world. 5G, 5G, 5G. 5G is called the fifth generation. So let me bring you back to the memory lane from the technology point of view, especially with telecoms. We started with what people know, 2G. That's where you have your GSM. You'll be able to call. People don't even think about data at that point in time. Then we move to 2.5G, where people begin to look at GPRS. I'm sure you must have heard about GPRS, you must have heard about Edge. When you see Edge, you'll be able to just open your Yahoo in your phone, you feel good. Oh, I can open Google, I can browse on my phone. Then after that, we now move to what we call the 3G UMTS. My speed, I can surf internet faster now, people were very happy when it comes to 3G. Then technology now moved to 4G. Oh, LTE, long time evolution. 4G is there where I can download movie. I can do all what I want to do on my mobile. But the fact it remains this is just more or less like Oliver Twist that we never get satisfied, right? There are a lot of things coming up, and there are a lot of gaps between 4G and 5G. And we're saying that things need to evolve. So we need a newer solution, a newer technology to be able to support the idea that people are having. Then we talked about 5G. Let me just put it in very layman perspective here. You have, I believe everybody has TV in their house. Some of them will tell you that my TV is 4K. You understand? The picture is brilliant, etc. The movie is 4K. We're very happy about the crystal clear, etc. So let's say a movie. 4K movie itself is like around 4 gig, right? That is the volume of the movie. And you just want to download it. I love this movie, it's clear, it's cool, you understand. When you use 4G, let's say 4G, worst case scenario, you have 100 megabit per second. That is fast. What everybody has in their house could be 5, 10, 20, 25. But let me say 100. 100 where you are 2x2 MIMO or 4x4 MIMO, you are 256 QAM. So you're more or less having a nice environment. You can have 100 megabit per second. You will download this movie within 6 minutes.
Okay.
6 minutes. It's not an issue, 6 minutes. But when you go to 5G, you will download this movie 5 seconds.
Wow.
That is 5G for you. And again, people have been toiling with a lot of ideas, and it's going to come to life in our lifetime where we have driverless car. This has been experimented in US, likewise in Europe, where nobody will be able to drive, and you just get yourself in the car will drive you elsewhere, everywhere you want to go. So I just want to give you an application so that you see how important this 5G really is. When you are driving your car, when there's an obstruction in front of you, how many seconds did it take you to take does it take you to take a decision? Split second, let's say 1 second.
Yeah.
You press the brake, isn't it?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Now, when you're going to have a driverless car, whenever there is an obstruction, the system itself should be able to calculate the distance between the car and the obstruction, take a decision within split seconds. If there is a delay, what do you think will happen to the car? There will be an accident, isn't it?
Yeah.
Correct. So 4G, that 4G latency, we call it latency, your ability to get information from A to B, the time it takes you, to react. For 4G, it's like almost 1 seconds thereabout, close to 1 second or 100 of milliseconds. But for 5G, it's going to take you 0.1 milliseconds, meaning that
Okay.
driverless car will ride on 5G to be able to take that decision and get it done on time.
Yeah.
So you can now imagine all the astronauts, you can now imagine the pilots, ability to take decision within split seconds. You need a faster technology to be able to ride on that. And that's 5G for you.
All right.
And 5G, in terms of the speed as well, the ability to take a lot of equipment to be able to give each of them this required throughput. 4G can do it, 5G can do it. Do you understand?
Okay,
So this
thanks
is
for that,
where
Jerry.
5G actually comes and the application of 5G in just in a layman's term.
Celia, I can see you're panicking there when he was talking about driverless cars, because I think
Yeah.
with Tesla, with
Yeah.
Mercedes-Benz, with a few cars now, they already project when a car suddenly comes and because it does in my car will give me this sound, boom, there's something in front of me, and it makes you a better driver. So Celia, I'm going to go to you because I can see you're yearning to ask Doyin some questions.
Why do we need such a fast technology? Why do we need it? The 4G is okay. Why do we need this 5G? Apart from the speed in downloading things and all the 1 minute, 100 milliminutes or whatever it's called, it doesn't make any difference. Why do we need this fast technology?
Civil, one of the applications that we're looking at has to do with we call it Internet of Things. Let's say, for example, and this is what's going to happen with the 5G, in your fridge. You have different cabinets in your fridge. Each of those cabinets is going to have its own SIM. The moment where you always put your milk, right?
Okay.
At that point in time, when your milk gets to a certain level, it will sense it and send a signal directly to either Superstore, maybe Tesco or whatever, that CV has a need for a milk. So the ability to process this thing fast enough, you need a technology to be able to get that done. So you can imagine that is for your fridge, and you have different compartments. It could be 20 compartments. The same thing for your kitchen cabinet. You have different compartments. The same thing for your what they call it, your washing machine as well. The soap is no more. I mean, you actually less of soap. And imagine a lot of people in UK, for example. So you need a system that be able to take all this information, process it within milliseconds, and be able to get the information out to people to get it done. So you just hear a ring bell in your house saying that this is the make. Who ordered for it? Your fridge.
I don't understand. Who's going to pay for it then?
Of course, because you need it. You must have signed off a lot of things at the back end that when
with your credit card or your bank card and things like that.
It must be with your consent. The idea is that you don't want human intervention in all your activity any longer. So you're now becoming the boss of the boss.
But aren't people going to be out of a job though?
I was going to say
Now
that
you are
because this
talking.
is something.
People are going to be out of a job.
Doyin, this is because while reading this, I kind of stumbled over robotic automation. So I'm reading around, I'm doing something on that actually. And I'm thinking, okay, this is similar to RPA. What is going on? Are we going to be taking the jobs of human beings?
I think we're digressing a bit, but it's good. It's a very lovable discussion. I love it. Right. I used to tell people, right? The only today, when we build up a site, the equipment we're having now, they are SON. SON means self-organized network. Unlike gone are the days, those days then, 10, 15 years, when you install an equipment, somebody needs to go there to configure, to make sure that everything is okay, etc. But now, they are pre-equipped. You power them up, the system organizes itself. So what that simply means is that the engineer that does this, this configuration, they're out of job.
Yeah.
One.
Mm.
Two, meaning that we are going to have less of drivers that will be driving car.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I mean? Three, the aspect of you getting somebody that needs to help you to go to the supermarket, etc., all those people in between, they are out of business completely. So the only people that will still be in the business are the people that are into management. Why? Because you still need this cognitive skill to be able to talk to people. One. Two, the people that do software programming, software engineering, because they will be the one writing the program to do what you and I are supposed to do. There's something called Dr. Watson. Dr. Watson has been proven to beat human intelligence. Most of the application in terms of surgery today, in terms of even legal, is Dr. Watson. Ability to be able to scan a human being and be able to know, predict 99.9% the stages of the answer, what needed to be done, is done by equipment. I mean, this technology, because it has to be super fast and it has to have a lot of capability to pull data to analyze it on time. So, as I thought, it's something that is going to happen, is happening, and we just need to chill out, calm down. It's going to make our life easy.
Okay, we're taking this step by step. Dorian, can I ask you another question? So in countries that are not as advanced, for example, African countries, okay, where we know that they may not be able to use this kind of technology to its full potential, right? Because come on, you using bank card and things like that, they may not be able to do that. So this technology is mostly going to be useful in European countries, westernized countries. So how is it going? So what are they making any allowances for homes that may not be able to subscribe to this sort of technology that immediately? What are they doing for those people?
The beauty thing about technology, especially with telecoms, is that everybody will catch up. I'll give you a very good example. In Europe, I think 18 years ago, 3G came up, right? 3G was introduced in Africa sometime like 10 years ago, if I'm not mistaken. 4G came up 8 years ago all over the world. Africa, it was introduced to Africa, I think 3 years ago. Can you see the vibe of 4G in Africa? And Africa is even moving faster than Europe. So that is the good thing about this technology, especially telecoms. Let me also give you a very good example, especially in Nigeria, Lagos, for example. We are all used to yellow taxi. I'm sure you will remember yellow taxi.
Yeah.
You walk out of your house, you flag them down. This is how much, and we all move out. Then Uber came in.
Yeah.
Uber, you don't need to know the driver. You don't need to know the taxi. All what you need is your mobile phone. Do you understand? People begin to do what? Appreciate the technology gradually. If Nigeria can appreciate Uber and they adopt it, there is no technology that cannot be adopted. There will be some challenges, obviously. There's a lot of challenges here and there. The types of infrastructure, because if you look at it today, there are a lot of things that the government is doing, getting fiber to different homes, laying fiber. Many private organizations are getting that done because that is the infrastructure that everything will ride on. The fiber, the road network, etc. So they do understand, because at the end of the day, it has been proven scientifically that telecoms, right, improvement in your telecoms has a direct correlation with your GDP. So most of the government do understand that. So they actually laying the foundation for the broadband, which UK has done
Dorian,
before.
let me cut you there for a minute. You said wonderful things about 5G. Technology is what we need for us to be able to evolve and for us to be able to compete where necessary. Now, let's speak about the elephant in the room. What is the correlation with 5G and coronavirus? Before you answer me, there's been conspiracy theories around every time there's a new network, a new generation, there seems to be some kind of disease that comes around with it. It is noted that we noticed cancer more when 4G came about. Now, rightly wrong or right, we are now in the era of 5G, and we've got birds flying down and dropping down the sky. We've got people burning down 5G tower masts or whatever, believing that this is the cause of coronavirus. I know you would say that there's some places like Iran and India that probably do not have or have not implemented 5G that do have huge cases of coronavirus. Can you just speak on that? Is it actually true? Should we be worried?
How do you want me to do it? Do you want me to explain, then I go to conclusion? Or want me to conclude, then I explain?
Whichever makes our viewers understand better.
Okay, you see, in all fairness and scientifically proven with fact and data, which I'm going to give out now, there is no correlation between 5G and coronavirus.
Okay.
No correlation. You know, correlation can be, let's say, strong or partial correlation, but this one,
Charlie.
there is no correlation. So let's go back to the fact. When the main cause of this uproar has to do with what? The radiation, because that's the only thing that they said that kills people that do a lot of stuff from 5G. So there's something we call the electromagnetic frequency radiation. So let's go to the basis. When 3G was introduced, even 2G and 3G and 4G, there were a lot of uproar as well. Some people will tell you now that I don't want to buy a house or I don't want to rent a house close to where there's a mast. So
Yeah.
people are talking about it because of the radiation. Now, the genuine concern is valid because you can't be on top of a mast and you don't expect an issue with radiation. Of course, you will have. Do you understand?
Period.
But what we also need to know is this: the distance between you and that mass itself is huge enough to depreciate any radiation that can come to hurt you. That is one part. Second part is this: the International Commission for Non-Ionizing Radiation Protection. This is the committee that looks at all the non-ionizing radiation, where telecoms fall in and some other equipment. They've done a lot of studies. They said, now, let's put a threshold into the permissible radiation that will not cause problems to you, our body. And they looked at a lot of studies backed with WHO as well. You understand? And Federal Communication Commission in US as well also backed it up. They now said, look, when we look at the whole study, we found out that the threshold for that radiation should be 10 watts per meter square. That's the radiation per surface area. Now, I'm giving this to you with fact and figure. Let's start. Sunlight, that's far, far away because that is crazy. Is more than 1,000 watts per meter square. Microwave that everybody has in their house is 3 watts per meter square. Air dryer, of course, all the ladies, you have a hair dryer, right? You use
I
hair
just
dryer.
dried my hair.
Exactly. Is 1 watt per meter square. Your smartphone is 0.2 watt per meter square. The 5G radio is 0.159 watt per meter square. So let's put it in perspective. The radiation generated by 5G is less than that of your phone, is less than that of your air dryer, and is far, far less than your microwave oven.
Okay.
To be able to survive, you putting your microwave oven in your kitchen and you're using it, and you never had any issue. Why would you have issue with 5G? If you've been using your hair dryer and you never had any issue, why would you have issue with 5G? If you're using your smartphone and you never had an issue, why would you have issue with your 5G? And the 5G will never be placed close to your head. It's always hanging an antenna. Do you understand that? So
some of us sleep with our phones under our pillows.
Exactly. So the fact remains that you subjecting yourself to that exposure close to it for a long time, you have an issue. There's no doubt about it, but that's the reason why it's always on the tower. So the bottom line is this: there is no correlation at all. The radiation is so minute that will never cause any genetic mutation in our body. If you're able to survive with a hair dryer, why not?
Why? My question is,
more or less, okay.
Sorry, don't to cut you. Why is it such a coincidence, right? That is the same time the coronavirus is killing people left, right, and center, and that's exactly the same time the 5G thing is out. The towers are the pipes or whatever they call it being laid. Why is it same time?
You know, 5G is not a new technology for your information. US has over 10,000, if I'm not mistaken. China has thousands of them. UK also has. 5G commercial have been released in commercial mode. since 2018, if I'm not mistaken. Do you understand? Some countries have been using it since 2017. So 5G is not a new technology. But for part of the Africa, you understand, has been a new technology. Many people, even in UK, even in US, they don't know that there's 5G. You only get to
Well,
know
I
when
did.
you are doing your contract. They will tell you, do you want 5G contract or 4G super speed? Otherwise, you don't know. So this thing has been with us. Now, some people got to know that there's something called 5G. They never knew about it. You understand? They got to know about Corona. And then they begin to do what? Bring one to two and be able to do a lot of conspiracy theory, etc. They said, no, we started in Wuhan. Wuhan has a lot of 5G. Wuhan is not the only province in China that has 5G. There are a lot of provinces in China that has 5G, but they never had coronavirus. As we rightly said in the beginning of this program, Iran is, if I'm not mistaken, I think they are the third, if I'm not mistaken, in terms of the country that is hit by this.
They've got 66,000 cases as
They
of
never
today.
have 5G. So we might say, okay, Iran, maybe because some country close to them has, and they try to bring it into Iran. Which country around there has 5G? No. Do you understand? This is a typical case. Look at Africa, for example. Africa has a lot of Democratic Republic of Congo, Rwanda. We're talking about Zambia. We're talking about Madagascar. Many people have never been to Madagascar. If I tell you what's the capital of Madagascar, you say, what are you
I
talking
haven't
about?
been.
Antananarivo. The capital is Antananarivo. Nobody knows. They still have Corona. So, you see, when you're trying to talk scientifically and fact and data, one of the methods is you do elimination. Then begin to look at the causation. What are the correlation between them? Then we've already given the fact this country never had 5G, but they had a lot. So they are not speaking to each other. No. And I've given you the detail about the 5G in a layman language. If you're able to have your microwave in your house, then everybody should have gone to Corona for a long time, because even that one has more energy than 5G.
And he lives in the house. So that's a good one, Dorian, because what would happen is now personally, I've received so many WhatsApp messages. We've got associations of mothers, grandmothers, and mother-in-laws. Just fast forward. Do you know, WhatsApp really needs to stop allowing people to send messages about how the world is going to be disinfected, how Corona and 5G are like 5 and 6. So no, it's a good thing that we have you here to help
One more
us.
thing, if you don't mind, sorry for cutting you. There's something WhatsApp that, as you mentioned, WhatsApp, something that came up. There's WhatsApp that I received that one of the telecom site got burned. Somebody was recording as it was, the lot of fire was gotten to fire, and the guy was saying, now this is the cause of Corona. People are now reacting that this and this and this. Then I said, okay, good. When I went to investigate that site. That fire incident happened 2014.
Wow.
So I was like, guys, see what I'm telling you. So somebody recorded it and superimposed his voice, the current Corona, onto that, and tried to make up a case. So they are fake news.
Oh, well, there you go. No, Joey, thank you so much. No,
before you go, I have two more questions. Okay, so Yuri, we were just watching this thing from Trevor Noah. So apparently, the Americans and the Chinese are trying to be the ones to bring this 5G. You know, Huawei, which is a telecommunication, Chinese company is already sort of developing this, and we hear that it's going to bring up to $5 billion into the GDP of America. And this is why America really wants to be the ones championing 5G, but the Chinese also wants to do the same. And obviously we know about the various things that the 5G can do. They would spy on people and things like that. So my question is, why are these countries fighting to be the ones to bring it into force? Because there's another conspiracy theory that people are saying that the Chinese has introduced this coronavirus, just so that they can overpower America. And whilst America is trying to handle their death rate and trying to sort out this illness, this virus, the impact of it in their country, then China has bounced out of it. They're now going all over the world, sending doctors, sending equipment, buying everything, manufacturing everything, and sending to all these other countries to help them combat this. So why is there this power struggle to the point where the Chinese will go to all lengths to kill quite a lot of people in the world just because they want to get to America or whatever? What is...
Okay, I'm not a politician, but I say in a very small corner of my house and I observe a lot of things, right?
Mhm.
And I'll tell
As
you
we
my
all do.
you understand? I'll tell you my observation quickly. Number one, um, the kind of economy now in this that is in this 22nd century is more or less driven by technology. So we call it e-commerce,
Yeah.
e-economy rather. You understand? Anyone that has that technology to ride in that economy, technology for to ride, that will be a rider for that economy will rule the world. There's no doubt about it. 5G, as I've given you just a tip of an iceberg of what it can do. You can now imagine all our life will revolve around this thing. Anyone that owns that technology, that owns that patent, the IP, etc., they'll be able to do a lot of things on that, will definitively rule. Today, America is ruling the world because they started this technology years back.
Years ago. Yeah.
Remember, do you understand? And that competitive advantage is still there. So what is the right thing for you to do? Let's go a bit into strategy management now. Your ability to remain competitive is a function of you being dynamic to your competitors. You have to be dynamic. When the need comes in, you'll be able to react
Yeah.
accordingly.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you'll be able to sustain your competitive advantage. America has to sustain their competitive advantage. Looking at this technology, you understand, they need to ring-fence it, that they have to be the one to have a say on it. And I agree with them. Anyone that owns this technology, that master it, will rule the world. There's no doubt about it. Do you understand what I'm saying? It has been there since 2-3 years, and they've seen it in the future that this technology is going to be a key for anyone to do what? To rule the economy of the world. So that is the reason why we have all these pushback, 5G, today Chinese, US, tomorrow, etc. They do understand. But the fact remains that the world itself is big enough for everyone to live quietly. Do you understand? So it's quite, if it's going to be an healthy competition, we're all happy with it. So the key thing for us is that it should be an healthy competition, because with healthy competition, it will help us to move to the next level. Maybe we're talking about 6G now, You
Yeah.
understand what I mean? So coming to all this conspiracy theory that is because they wanted them to have a lot of this and this, some people in their corner of their house trying to cook some stuff. I don't think so. It could be a lot of coincidence, you understand?
Yeah.
Just like what I explained to you, what happened in the
Mm.
Warsaw. But
Yeah.
it's always good for you to back everything with fact and data. Assuming I don't know about that mass 2014, I would have agreed
Yeah.
that, hey, this is what is happening. And imagine some other people are sharing the WhatsApp that our operator in Nigeria is laying the fiber everywhere. This is for Corona. And you can imagine the minister came out that there's no license. What are they laying about? So the bottom line here is this: anyone that is on top of this 5G technology will definitely have an edge economically over any other person in the world. So it's a race to the top for
No,
all those superpowers.
that's
And
a good one, Dory.
you can also imagine, if we're talking about this, what is going to do for us commercially. Imagine what would be the application militarily.
Mm.
Yeah.
Think
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
that.
Because I was gonna say that before we round off, because thinking about this too, I'm not trying to put out any conspiracy theory, but what if other nations just wake up and be like, we can do away with Africa? And oh yeah, it's a possibility, because if they weaponize this, are we a cube? Are we there? Because like you rightly said at the beginning of the program, 4G was in existence for over how many years? We just clocked on how many years ago. So if someone decide and they can say we want to do away with Nigeria, what if that happens? What do you say to that? You are vast in this, and Nigeria has a brain, or is equipped with a lot of people that have your expertise. How do we then move forward? How do we then become prepared for this? How do we? I know we can't get to the level of America, China. We will get there somewhere, but how do we become competitive?
A stakeholder, yes.
Yeah, well, the first and foremost is you need to get infrastructure. Infrastructure is key. You understand what I mean? Today, you see a lot of government road construction is going on. A lot of private company, they are like telecoms company, they are laying fiber. So this is just the baseline and foundation for this technology. Second, on top of that, you see there are a lot of entrepreneurial hub that is spanning up in Nigeria, because a lot of people are doing a lot of innovation. Innovation is coming up. You understand? So Nigeria itself, if you look at it, that in Africa, if I'm not mistaken, we've got the Google CEO has come, Facebook CEO has come. So for them to be coming to Nigeria, they must have seen something
Yeah.
very, very peculiar about that
Yeah.
country. Can't do away with us. But
Mhm.
you know, at times, it's just like a diamond that doesn't know its value.
Mm.
You understand? It's just the case of Nigeria. So now we begin to see that we can do this. And government is coming to the party with a lot of things that needed to be in place so that we'll be able to do what? Wake ourselves up as a giant. And the market is so massive. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Mhm.
We have over 200 million subscribers, and the
That's
tele
true.
density is less than 50, is around 53%. Tele density means that the number of people that has phone divided by total subscriber.
Mm.
Look at UK. UK is almost 100%. Tell me,
Mhm.
do we have any MNO or any operator that will just launch his mass everywhere in UK? Which
No,
subscriber is it going to take? There's no subscriber. There's no more
no,
market.
there's no
Do you
Mm.
understand?
subscriber. That's
There's
true.
no more market. But in Africa, in Nigeria, there's still market for you. The market is so massive. And the good thing about it is that if you're able to get that technology there to make life easy for anyone to transact, you're actually meeting them, their needs. The services is there. So for us, we need to wake up from the infrastructure point of view, coming to think about the intellectual capacity, we have it ready made in Nigeria. But that infrastructure, the baseline is extremely important, and the policy and the guideline from the government will be icing on the cake.
Mm.
Then Nigeria is good to go.
All right,
Okay.
so Dorian, we'll leave it at that. That was really insightful,
Yeah.
and I'm sure people, because people have been messaging Celia and I like, you really need to bring an expert, guys. We do deliver on this set.
Yes.
So no,
Yes.
Dorian, thank you so much for
So,
lending us your time, your
Thank
air, your
you.
expertise. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure to have you on here with us today. Um, I think that's it. This was
Yeah.
really good, wasn't it, Celia?
Yeah, it
thank you
was.
very
Now I
Thank
know that
you,
I don't have to
Dorian.
worry about
I
any of the
know
things.
that's minus one thing to worry about.
I can
Thank you
order
very
my
much for
Tesla
having
then.
me. Thank you very much for having me on your program.
Thank
And
you.
you're always welcome anytime.
Thank you
Thank you
so
so
much.
much,
Thank
Doreen.
you.
Thank
All
you.
right.
All right, guys, until next week. And if you have any questions, put it down there. We can easily forward this on to Doreen, and he can reply back and
Yeah.
bring you onto the show. Now, on Saturday at 9:30, when this show premieres, myself, Celia, and every other host of Trash It is always online to have a chat and giggle with our subscribers. We look forward to chatting with you on Saturday. And once
Yeah.
again, Doreen, thank you so much. Thank you, thank you.
Thank
We
you.
really
And
enjoyed
perhaps
this.
Doyen will be there as well if you have any questions as well.
Yes,
Doyen
if you
might
have
be
any
there if we're
questions, and
lucky. Yeah.
No
Dorian
problem.
will be able to answer to that. All
No
right,
worries.
guys. Thank you so much.
Thank
Okay,
you.
bye.
Bye.
Bye.